G'day, how you going? Ianapolis here, your acrylic guru from Australia. Welcome to my video. We're going to do a beautiful big blood red moon tonight. I just want to get the sizes up there for you before we get on our way in centimetres and inches, and also get some colours coming up the screen there for you as well. That way you can write them down, pause it and paint along with me after you've watched it a few times, just to know what you're going to be up against as well. Now we're going to need a pencil. I've got quite a big pencil because it's going to be a bloody big moon, isn't it? All right, so we've got a big pencil. You're going to also need a moon template. I've just got it cut out of some clear plastic acetate paper. All right, I've got several of these in several different sizes as well. I've got my glasses for close-up. I've got me water to hydrate myself, and also a coffee to keep me wits about me. And we've got some brushes, and I'll show you as I use them as well, all right? So get on over here and let's get right into this monkey, all right? Okay, me moon is going to be pretty well up in the sky, pretty much in the middle of this, okay? Because that's going to be the hero of this painting, all right? And just under there is where I want my horizon line. So I'm going to use me straight square stick, or me bullshit stick. Grab your pencil and just get a straight line across our canvas, just like that, because my moon's going to be about there, all right? Now, first thing, I've got my flowing white paint, and get some retarder next to there. Extender, retarder, or a slow drying medium, and I just want to mix these two together on my palette, and I'll get this sky area primed up. Now, I haven't got as much retarder as I normally have in here because I want a bit of retarder, but I'm not going to need overly a lot because I want it to dry quicker than normal, and there's not going to be quite a lot of clouds in here either. I just want this to be conditioned the way I like it. I think I might do the bottom as well, just to get that out the way. Okay, now we'll get our sky colour and water in there. Okay, my sky colour of choice for the nighttime sky, I'm just going to wipe that brush first, is I've got phthalo blue and dioxine purple. So we'll get our phthalo blue, and about here we'll get our sky coming down to the water, and from the water out. Okay, just like that, all the way across the page, nothing special there. Now I'm going to slowly crisscross it to get some of those lines down like a weave, like that, and then I'll come back to straight strokes. You'll learn as you go through your painting journey different ways to stroke paint and to lay it on, how it would help you with your habits. Okay, that's good enough. You'll notice I've left a bit of white there and there, that's for the dioxine purple. So back down here, actually I won't wipe that brush, I'll just mix that with the dioxine so it's a little bit darker and it's not just full on purple. It's the dioxine purple. I mean, you can use anything here to darken your blue colour up a bit. Where are we? I'll get that right across the top, beautiful and dark. Righto, and then just slowly bring it down. Now, if it's too much of a line, do this, pulling it down like that into the, oh careful, into the blue, and then go back to your horizontal strokes like that. Pick up some more, and we'll do the same at the bottom. Now the bottom's water, so it's going to be quite different. So we'll get that up to roughly our horizon line. Pick up some more blue on your brush and get some, see like I done just there, I just put a dark band through there, and maybe roughly where my horizon line is, that'll do. Wipe it off on there, and then just brush that through as well, just so we've got different values in the water. I'm happy with the sky the way it is. I'm picking up some more blue just to get over here, just to darken that dioxine purple off. Okay. Okay, next up, I've got some titanium white out of the tube just to get a glare coming across the bottom area of the sky. And I've got pretty much a mark there. That's where my horizon line is. So this is, and I'm going to have a landmass there as well. So I want this pretty much, turn it around a bit above the landmass. So it's going to be like some distant atmospheric clouds in the sky. Just like that. This is just going to add those values to your painting. And now I've also got a rag to wipe my blending brush, and I want to soften that into that blue now. Get it up here into the blue and just have a nice transition of that blue colour and this white into the painting. Okay, don't worry about there, that can just go like that because it's going to have the landmass over it. Alright, and we'll come along here as well. Just getting that white up into the blue, just subtle, but it'll be there. There we go, beautiful. Now another thing I want to do is put the reflection of the moon in now, and it's going to be like a glass lit surface of this lake. Okay, like lots of glittering little specks. So how we're going to do that is with a toothbrush and some white paint, and I want to get them on now so as when I put the landmass on, they're not going to go over the landmass. Alright, get yourself a toothbrush, and I've got white titanium paint there. I'm going to grab a puddle of water next to it, just so it's loose enough to get off the brush. So we want to massage that into the brush. Now I want them pretty much coming out and in a V shape, roughly where under the moon's going to be, and we need to get it. So let's get it here. Try and get the consistency, not too many thick spots where they're not needed, okay? Practice this procedure. I want it about there. I want it quite heavy under the moon. Now you could obviously dry your painting and cover that up, but I know I'm being careful. I'm going to have landmass there as well. Oh, careful. So here we go. This is just going to be the reflection glistening on the top of the water there. Now if you want, I won't put many, but we'll put a few in the sky there as well. They're just our stars, okay? Okay, I've just finished drying that. Now I'm just going to have a bit of water, refresh myself, and start putting the midground on. And the room for the moon is already there. And all that now is the glittering, shining ripples and effects on top of the surface of the lake, okay? Okay, I never normally use black as its own colour, but in this painting I'm going to, okay? Because I want it to stand out as black. So as we might add some little highlights in front of it if we need to. And we're going to grab our stick. Where's my horizon line? There it is there. So I want to go a bit above that and a bit under it. And we want to get our landmass in, so we'll just scoot that right across here like so. Now I have put a bit of water in this paint, not too much. You don't want that line super duper sharp and in focus because it's way back there. So we'll get this in, and then I can take the stick away. That'll do. Now I've dried it because we need to paint this on, and it'll be a bit hard to paint on if it's not dry. Now this is just a mountain. There's that misty white stuff we put on, so we want to keep some of that in show when we're mapping this in. So I always like to come off the painting there like that, make it interesting. We can just make this bit of landmass here like so, bit of hills or whatever, okay? Get your paint nice and wet. Not too wet where it goes opaque, but just inky enough to spread, okay? it's up to you how detailed you do that, but it doesn't have to be overly done. Now, while we've still got the black paint out, roughly in the middle here, I want to put my signature path and foreground hill. So I'll just do it roughly flat here. Doesn't matter how far you go, because your hill's coming in, will come about here. Just a slight foreground there, and maybe something about here. Just leaving enough gap there, and then you can block that in as well. This is going to have some beautiful moonlit ground cover and our little footpath in the middle, okay? So this will be dry with the landmass up there as well. That's why I put it on now, so we don't have to do it later. All right, this is all dry. Just make sure it is. Yeah. Now I just want to put the slightest row of mist in front at the bottom of that landmass there, and I'm going to use my disturbed flat brush. Why I call it disturbed, it's all, you can see it's all munted up and came like a sort of a mop brush. So it's dry as a bone. The paint's dry here, and I want to just touch some paint into it, okay? And we're going to wear most of that off. That's all you need to do. Don't get it wet. Now I'll just kill some of it up there. Now let's go roughly here. I just want mist. Now don't make a neat line if you can help it. Get it a bit cloudy and all over the place, but level. Uneven but level, if you know what I mean. So the uneven line is going level, and it's over the water and just over the base of those distant land out there. And some of it can be thicker than other areas. It doesn't have to be a uniformed, even mist out here. Just nature's not even. There's no lines in nature. I mean, there are, but there's no black edged lines in nature. Okay, along here. And this is sort of sitting things back as well, giving the painting a bit more element of things that are in it, because you want the vibe to continue throughout the painting. You want it to have its own vibe and the artistic vibe you want it to have, yeah. So when people look at it, they can sense the vibes there. Now I'm kind of destroying the black harsh line in a way that it's covered. There we go. All right, I think we've got the vibe of artistic mist laying across there, and you can see these dots now. Even they can be more heavy. It's too late for me to do it now, but they're given that glistening shimmer of light hitting the water. Okay, I'm using a flat brush, and I have my yellow ochre or yellow oxide and some white. So I want to get this and just map in the footpath or the foreground trail, okay? So we'll get this, and it's going to have some white with it as well. Now, I want to get right on the edge there, and if anything, this has got to come like a point. So we'll start here, leave some darks there, about that much. Or as much as I paint is how much. Keeping these level and getting a bit longer as you come forward. And that's pretty much our, is that the end of the canvas there? It is too. Okay, so now I've got it on there where I want it. I've got it on there where I want it. I need it to sit quite straightly. I think I'm getting that bit of a whistle in my voice as I get older. Now I'm just going to pick up some of the white and marble in with it. Just doing it on the, and we'll get some white values in there. Lighter values, I mean. No, a bit more, bit more, bit more. All right, leaving some dark bits. Beautiful. Very artistic, isn't it? It's got the vibe going. I want it a little bit brighter, just on the tippity edge there. There we go. It's got that vibe. Done. Now what we're going to do next is quite easy, and just remember you can do it, and if you're having trouble doing it, You just need a bit more practice, then you will be able to do it. We're going to see these black edges. There's our path. We want to bring the ground over and just leave some dark between the path and this ground we're going to colour in. And we want it to all come from up and down. I'm going to use a flat brush. I've got some forest green. I'll just dampen the brush a little bit so it's going to transfer better. So I'm going to start with forest green, then I'll just highlight it with the yellow green there. So let's give this a go. So if anything, we're going to come on the black, go a bit over that black there. Leave some black in between your green. Chisel it up. I'll get all the way along here done first. I mean, this could be even all done in silhouette. It could be weed grass. It could be anything. I sort of do this signature foreground on a lot of my paintings in different layouts and colour variations, if you might notice. It's just something I can use as a filler. And I'm going to do one side just so you can see what they look like. So if anything, I like these nice and flat, not going up and down, and it's just creating the lay of the land. You can use a fan brush for this, but if you're not too experienced, you might find your fan brush makes them a bit snotty looking. So that's why I'm opting for a fan brush. I mean, not a fan brush, a flat. There we go. Look at that. See, I'm pretty sure you can do that, can't you? And once this is whacked in a frame, you'll be amazed at the art you've just done. Okay, done that side, I've done that side. I've dried it so as we can stamp the other colour on. We've got our yellow green here, and if it's a little bit not enough, I've got some cad yellow light there just to turn the lights on with it, okay? And now we'll do the same here. We want to come down and creep that everywhere. Nice and thin. Thin as you can get this, the better. We don't want it too wet. See how those ones there are a little bit getting broad and fat? Yeah, you want them nice and sharp like that. Dance it into, now put it on the top of that dark bit. Like you have a dark bit there, it's on the top of it, dark's underneath it. Now we can just trace all this back off the painting here. And this is creating the land now. The black's given it depth, the green's given this yellow green the depth. And if we need to put any highlighted areas on this, I want to add the yellow light, the cadmium yellow light on there to create that, okay? I just want to look in the monitor. How's that looking? That's looking all right. Now see all these goobly gloops there? I'm going to pick up just the forest green again and dismiss some of those goobly gloops. Okay, just finishing this side. Now I'm grabbing just the cadmium yellow light. I didn't clean the brush. And we'll just highlight some of those. Not everywhere, just roughly where I feel the moon will hit the high spots. Now you'll see here, this has some different brighter value to it. Let me look in there, yep. I think I'll do it mainly against the footpath and then fading out up here somewhere. Now I'll get some more and I'll just do around here as well. Stamping, eh? Use what brush is comfortable. I've got to get some more of the forest green now and get rid of those goobly gloops. There we go. Simple. Okay, everything's dry. I could have done this after the moon, but I've done it before the moon. It gives the sky time to dry a bit more. So, because my template's going to pretty much lay over all this area. So I've got just some low tacking tape. Low tacking tape, for those of you who don't know what low tacking tape is, it just means one that's not as sticky as a high tacking tape, which is very sticky. So I want my moon about there. The closer to the water, it makes sense to those shiny bits. So we'll put that about there, about there. That'll do it. Now we want a kitchen sponge for this because it's the most easiest, okay? Okay, that's what happens to your sponge when you have cats around. So I'll have to have a new one now. Now the best way to do a moon is we prime it up. So I'm going to wet my kitchen sponge just with some sprayed misty water. And I've got some titanium white. I'll just use one controlled end of this sponge. Now I want more water on there because more water would help it transfer off the sponge and prime up my painted surface there. There we go. Not too watery. All right, now we want to prime that up with the white. So just come in off the edges. You can take this down a lot more vigorously over the edges, so it's not going to lift on you. And see, that's why I've waited for it to dry. And this is just more, no mucking around, getting to it, done nice and round, easy moon to paint, okay? Now I'm just going to dab that in there like so. Okay, we've got it primed up. Now I'm not too fussed about drying that because it's not overly wet, and I want it to sort of mix in with the blood moon colours. Okay, I've just gone and put some extra tape there, help me with the filming process. And I'm going to go for, it's going to be a blood moon, but I'm going to base it with some Indian yellow. I like the vibrancy of that. So I've just got my sponge again, haven't done nothing special with it, and I want to get that Indian yellow into my sponge. Beautiful. And that's still wet, but we'll see how we're going to go now. Yep, beautiful. Get it all on there. That white is allowing this yellow to display its true colour. If that was going on the blue, it'll be very opaque and you'll be like, oh no, what's going on? So it's always important in my view, if you're going to paint some bright blues, yellows, reds and whatnot, you need a good white underneath. Okay, and the magic in this is when we take our stencil off. You can mask this up, do whatever you want, or just paint it freehand. Okay, now I'm going for a quinacridone magenta because I just did a little test over here in the yellow and it's going to give it that nighttime orangey look, okay? Instead of a bright daytime orangey look. And this will mix with that yellow, and if it's not, I've still got this pile here to contaminate my sponge with, okay? I don't want any white though, so get rid of that white like that. Let's have some fun. Now, everything's still wet. I'm gonna, if anything, have a lighter side on this side. And we're gonna get our blood moon. What are these called? Big blood moons? Full moon, blood moon? Because they have a blue moon. They have all sorts of colours at certain times of the centuries and the years. A full moon, a full blood moon. So we'll, now I'm going to pick up some more of that yellow because I feel that's a bit too, you know, not quite. I'll put a bit of water down there. Pick that up in the sponge so it's nice and stampy. There we go. And we're getting that colour there. Now I want a darker colour of that. Okay, we're going to try raw sienna dark. Let's just see if it's going to do the, give us our darker aspects. That might do it. I've got water there. Now we don't want too much of this, just in bits and pieces around the moon to make the darker bits. There we go, so I want some there. Pick up some more. I'm just kind of making that, you know, that shape, hopefully. Now this is burnt umber. I'm just going to slightly get that a bit darker now. See, slowly. Now it's hard to see the raw sienna dark, but I can see it in real life. And we're going to put this on it now. Just sort of get the vibe of artisticness coming out of your hand with your sponge and onto your thing there, and it'll work for you. There we go, lovely. Now the other side of this sponge that I haven't contaminated yet, I want some even more darker bits just impregnated there, look at that. Where are we? Yeah, oh yeah, beautiful. And the sponge leaves good texture on your moon. All right, I'm just going to turn my sponge around, pick up the rest of this white with some water. I need it a little bit wetter than that. I hope I don't ruin it. It would pay if I practice a painting first, so when I film it I know it's going to work. But all my paintings I just paint there and then on the spot. Now let's, if anything, just get something on this side. Maybe here. Let's slowly come in. Slowly come in. I hope this is going to work. Get more white. Now this white here that I just, when I said get more white, is the actual flow white because it's more inkier, it's more softer bodied. So I want to just see how this is going to look. And if it looks a bit dumb, you can always manipulate it. Okay, I'm putting that sponge down. I've got gloves on my hands, on my fingers, and I want to now just kind of easily manipulate that back in a moonlight fashion. Okay, there we go. Now you paint this moon any way you want. If I've confused you, look past the confusion and do it your way. Every bit of detail in any subject can be looked over, and when you do it your way, okay? Now let's see what this moon looks like. Now ain't that the bee's knees, eh? Yes, that's good. Now we've got our glistening. Now if anything, it needs to be more concentrated right here, all this stuff, okay? So I'm going to do that. Okay, I've masked up my horizon and my foreground there. I've got some more paint on here, so let's carefully get this all flicked and more concentrated. No, need more water. Not enough water in the mix. Come on. Okay, I'm happy with that. We'll get this tape off. Hopefully I didn't ruin anything. No, very good, Ian. Very good. Okay, get this one off. I didn't press it on too heavy, was no need to. Okay, we can put a yacht in there, which I'm going to do later on, not in this tutorial. All right, we'll put my signature on here. And be sure to check out the links in the description below. All my tutorials like this one and many others are for sale. There's a link to see what's available. And you can message me on Facebook regarding a purchase. Purchases are done through PayPal. There's a PayPal link there. There's a link for my YouTube video list, what's actually on my channel. And if you also want to be a member of my art group, you can request to become a member there as well. Or there's about 9 links there. All right, let's whack a frame on this. Before I do, Steve's just out there wanting to come in, but he doesn't want to come in. He wants me to go into the house to get him something to eat. Steve! Here, mate. All right, let's whack a frame on this painting. Yeah, that don't look too shabby. Nice, simple subject. Beautiful blood moon, full moon, what they call that. We've got it glistening onto the water there. You can put any type of foreground on there. You can even put some night clouds in the sky. But the moon in this case is a champion. You can even have a beautiful silhouetted tree forking in front of it, okay? You can do that. Alright, I hope you had fun watching this video. Check out the links in the description below, and if it's your first time here, share, like and subscribe and give me the thumbs up. And if you like what I'm doing, be sure to tell your friends. But if you don't like what I'm doing and I'm annoying you in some sort of way, tell everybody, alright? All the best, goodbye, good luck. Bloody good on you.